Good evening, everyone. Welcome. This is the Marion City Council meeting for Thursday, January 26, 2017. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please be seated. Roll call, please.
Mr. Draper.
Here.
Ms. Etzel.
Present.
Mr. Spinks.
Present.
Mayor Abou-Osley.
Here.
Mr. Brandt.
Here.
Mr. Nicholson.
Here.
Ms. Pazur.
Here.
Okay. At this time, we'll have our moment of silence. Thank you. We begin this evening with a presentation regarding the Nature Conservancy.
Your Honor, Steve Cooper is going to introduce the speaker.
Okay. Welcome, Steve.
One of the terms we hear a lot about in the media and government, water quality or facility environment actually what it's supposed to be, so that we can better the quality of our drinking water or the quality of our water we use for recreation. One of the ways of doing that is restoring what is called oxbows. I'm trying to figure out the specific term for that. That's streams used to meander hundreds of years ago that is now silted. Did that not? There it is. Okay. Forgot where it was. Meandering streams. We can restore those oxbows and where things used to be and return those back to Mother Nature. There's a whole habitat that can be brought into them for that. About a year ago, the Nature Conservancy approached me about putting some of these in Marion. There's a few different areas that these can go in. And so we've been looking at this for about a year, and Nick Longbucka with the Nature Conservancy is going to show us a little bit about what these proposed projects can be and how we can bring those into Marion, and possibly every little bit helps. A little bit here, a little bit there, what we can do to help make our water quality better.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Thanks, City Council, for giving me the time to talk about this real quick. I'll try to be brief but informative. So, yeah, water quality has been a big topic. The Nature Conservancy has made a commitment to the Cedar River Basin here to improve water quality, reduce flooding, and provide habitat. And part of that work is restoring wetlands, and oxbows are a type of wetland. So Steve did a pretty good job explaining it, so I'll just go through this quickly. Got an old stream here. This is actually 1950 era photo. Streams naturally meander, especially in this prairie area. And eventually they meander so much they'll cut a loop off from itself. So basically, that same meander gets cut off from the main stream channel, and there's a little oxbow wetland that's filled with water sitting there. Over time, especially in a landscape like this, they get filled in from floods, deliver sediment, runoff from agriculture, from the nearby cultivation and the agricultural fields, and then just straightening and channeling can also kind of remove these features from the landscapes. And we like these features because they provide a lot of multiple benefits. They can improve water quality. They can provide off-channel flood storage, and they provide habitat for fish, amphibians, waterfowl. So we've been restoring these all over the state. So basically what we do is we find that old meander, dig out the old alluvial sediment, and let the groundwater come in. You have a functioning oxbow wetland back on the landscape. And that's just basically what we're proposing to do in Marion. We've done over 20 of these in the state of Iowa since 2011. We've been working with a diverse partnership, Fishery and Wildlife, DNR, folks at University of Iowa are doing a lot of our water quality monitoring to show that they do take out nitrogen and can reduce sediment flows to our rivers and lakes. So it's been a good program. We've done all this with private funding we've raised from our foundations and through private grants. So this is just, we did this last summer in Morgan Creek Park. Just an example. We got a before shot, a during restoration shot, and an after shot. So there's really just a low area. We dig the sediment out. After, you got a pool there. So this is just the benefits they can do. Again, remove nitrates from field tile, can do provide flood storage, and provide all sorts of habitat for fish and bird species. The off-channel habitat's key for a lot of small fish species that need that as refuge. So we're looking at to do one of these in Marion. This is right here. This is Creek View subdivision. It doesn't really show up on the screen, but right here is Creek View Home Association. This is Thomas Park in the green. This is at Lowe's. And I've identified an old oxbow here that we would like to restore. So I've been in touch with Steve and the president of the Homeowner Association, and they're very interested in doing this project. So at one point, Indian Creek must have ran down this way and back up, and eventually that stream channel changed and moved a little bit to the north. And this is the old oxbow we're looking to restore. This is actually set aside, the Home Association has this set aside for open space. That's the use here. So they did a really good job of making this a really cool area to be in, to live in. So they have a lot of set aside land. They've done already stream restoration work on Indian Creek. So they've been really active in trying to do improvements themselves. And so we're offering a little help and add another improvement to the landscape. So basically we would just take that sediment and that red, in this red little area here where the old oxbow used to be, take the sediment and remove it out of the floodplain and probably just store it here really, which is out of the floodplains higher up. And this would create open habitat. It'd be about 4 feet deep, open habitat for fish, amphibians, reptiles. It'd be a little more storage area for when that river does flood. Water will hit the oxbow, fish will move back and forth, and there'd be some floodwater storage. There's also a stormwater drain that drains into that oxbow, so it'd be another retention area during high flows for that stormwater to sit in, so it's not hitting the stream and contributing to flooding so quickly. So like I said, there's a group of dedicated landowners around here who will let this happen. They'll offer some of their work as match. We've raised private funds to do this, and we're just finalizing that right now. So this would be a public-private partnership with us, City of Marion, the Homeowners Association. So we got a lot of local buy-in. This could be a cool urban demonstration area and outreach opportunities. I think Steve said as part of your, is it erosion or stormwater plan that you need to do outreach events?
Our NPD, as part with the DNR, requires us to have education and outreach. So this would be an area that we could bring people to and show them what this is about, teach them about water quality and the environment.
Yeah, so I could help urban peoples as well as I try to do more of these in the county throughout the watershed. I can bring them in. What's an oxbow? I can actually show them. I'm doing the same thing at Morgan Creek Park and that oxbow I showed you earlier. So I just wanted to give the council a heads up. This is something I plan on doing throughout Lynn County. So we're just finalizing our ducks in a row now, but I just want to bring this to your attention right now. And those are the dimensions. Not very big, just about 400 feet long, 30 feet wide, 3 to 4 feet deep. And that's about how much sediment we want to remove, is about 1,500 cubic yards. And that's really it. So I'm taking, any questions or comments?
Where are you based? Where's your office?
The Nature Conservancy, so I work for the Iowa chapter. Our main office is in Des Moines, but I'm based out of Cedar Rapids.
Okay,
The
so
Cedar
you're
River is
here.
my project area,
Okay.
right in the Newbo area.
And so tell me again, the land that you would be doing this project on is owned by whom?
The Creek View Home Association.
So it's owned by the homeowners
So it's
association.
private land.
And
for
what's
the-
the city's participation then?
Really just helping me out, making sure I cross my T's and dot my I's for permits. We're not asking any financial commitment.
Because you take care of all the funding and everything.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's
That
a little
answers my
technical
questions.
help and local permitting type.
There would be DNR permits, and then there's actually, because he's working in a floodplain, there are permits that the city has to issue as well.
Okay, so But
And
there's
I'm-
no council action required for it. We were just
At
here,
this time.
you're just here to inform us about it. I think it's a great initiative, yeah.
No, thanks.
Mike, how close is it to the trail that's up in there?
Yeah, so let me go,
Impact
um,
the trail?
let's see if I have it zoomed out. So that trail crosses here and comes up. And then there's
Oh,
like a
it's-
power
yeah, okay,
right
it's
away, so
below it
it's
there.
fairly close. It's private land though, there's no like public access.
Yeah, I was thinking it was on the north side of the creek,
Oh.
but it's on the south side,
Well,
yeah.
that is a potential area we're looking at,
Yeah,
actually for our
okay.
next one, but right now we're focusing on this private one. There's some right here actually that have pretty good potential. I may be back here talking about those, but.
Never mind.
Go ahead.
So this, if done in several places, could really help with flooding of Indian Creek?
Yeah, I think, every little bit
Potential
helps. It's
flooding.
only, probably 7,000 gallons, so it's maybe a drop in the bucket, but it's definitely, as we move that sediment out of the floodplain, it's more places for the water to go.
Yeah.
So if we, get these back on the landscape, we'll cut off that peak of that flood curve.
If there's any done on public land, on city-owned land, could be some type of, can it be used for recreation?
Oh, definitely.
You said fish in it, so fishing and
Yeah, whatever, yeah.
that.
It definitely has recreation components. That's why the Home Association
Yeah,
likes it so much. They already have really good habitat there.
yeah.
And just another place for the
That'd be
ducks
great.
to swim and fish to go.
Have you found any other places in Marion that,
Yeah, I have. Just
Quite a
south of
few.
here. What creek
or
Squaw Creek.
No, that was Squaw Creek.
on Squaw Creek?
44th Street.
Yeah, I mapped them out through the whole county in Lynn and Benton, and I don't know, there's probably 50 to 100 ones that could be restored. So they're a common feature.
Nice.
Other questions? Okay,
All right,
thank
Thanks
you.
for your time.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
At this time, we have citizen presentations or comments. Anyone here to address the council? Okay, seeing none, we'll proceed. Consent calendar.
Yes, Your Honor. Is there anything on the consent calendar that someone wants to pull off for separate consideration? I'm not hearing any. Your Honor, I'd like to ask for approval for the consent calendar, items 1 through 29, and it includes resolutions 25788 through 25803, and also includes resolution 25767.
Second?
And also 787. Missed that one.
So we have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar as presented, items 1 through 29, including resolutions numbers 25787 through 25767.
And including this one.
Yep. 25767? Yep.
Well, but it's 803. 803 is,
So it's
there, right here. And
Okay.
it picks up that one.
Oh, I see. 25787 through 25803 and 25767. Okay. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Okay, the motion passes.
Your Honor, I make a motion to approve consent calendar with Mayor Abuasli's abstention from voting and discussion regarding the following items as presented, which would be items 30 through 34, including resolutions 25804 through 25806.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to approve the second part of the consent calendar, including items 30 through 34, resolutions 25804, 25805, and 25806. Any discussion? All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. And one abstention. Thank you. Moving on, planning and development.
Your Honor, I'd like to recommend approving ordinance number 17-02 as an amendment to Chapter 176.29 of the Marion Code of Ordinances regarding front yard paving in residential zoning district. Second consideration.
Second.
Okay, so is that proper in the form of a motion, or same as? Okay. It's been moved and seconded to approve ordinance number 17-02, approving an amendment to Chapter 176.29 of the Marion Code of Ordinances regarding front yard paving in a residential zoning district. Second consideration. Discussion?
Yes, sure. Well, no, I'll wait until.
Any discussion?
No.
Okay. We'll vote. All those in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. Motion passes.
Your Honor, if there have been no adverse comments, I would move to suspend the rules and place ordinance 1702 for final consideration.
Second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded to suspend the rules and place the ordinance number 17-02 on the floor for final consideration, provided there were no adverse comments. Okay, were there adverse comments?
My office didn't receive any.
None? Okay. Any discussion on final consideration? All those in favor of ordinance number 17-02, final consideration, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes. Thank you.
Your Honor, I'll make a motion to approve these mayoral appointments. The first one is Charlie Potter for the zoning, planning and zoning, the Zoning Board of Adjustment Board, the term expiring 12/31/21, and then for Todd Pearson of the Zoning Board of Adjustment, the term expiring 12/31/21.
Second?
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Charlie Potter to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a term expiring December 31st, 2021, and Todd Pearson to the Zoning Board of Adjustment for a term expiring December 31st, 2021. Any discussion?
Have you talked to both of these folks?
Yes.
Okay.
You were good with both?
Yes, yeah.
This is a pretty important board.
We had 2 resignations, and so.
Right.
I would like to make mention that we still have openings for substitutes on that board, or because we need, that board is so important that we have at least 3 there every meeting, and sometimes we struggle with that. So if we can find some substitutes, we need to do that.
Okay. Other discussion? All those in favor of these appointments, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, please say no. The motion passes. Discussion time.
Council time? I get to talk, huh? Well, because I'm one who's set up here and often believe that from our past comes our future, I sit around and think differently once in a while, and with our inauguration and our new president, whichever side you're on, it doesn't make a lot of difference. I begin to wonder about presidents in Marion, Iowa. And I found in the history that we have had 1 presidential vote or visit in Marion, Iowa, It occurred on October 17th of 1958 when Dwight Eisenhower came to town, and he met at a event that was called the Corn Picking Contest. It's a national event, and that is now the Farm Progress Show. But he appeared in Marion. There were 22 news agencies and 100,000 people on the Lumerdostel farm east of town. The family still owns that farm, and spoke and had a box lunch, they said, and all the churches in town and what have you were having cookouts so they could sell and make a little bit of money with that many people here. But I think the other thing I found interesting is that Lumerdostel was a sophomore at the University, Iowa State, that's the one, and in agriculture, and he said that, and Loomer had 2 or 3 things he was always proud of, and Loomer's gone now, but he had photographs of his mom and dad and he and Sarah with Dwight Eisenhower, and the other thing was that he met with a young senator who really impressed him that came with Dwight Eisenhower by the name of John F. Kennedy. So we not only had a president, we had a future president in Marion, Iowa on October 17th of 1958. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Thank you. When are we going to add a human history book department to the library?
Can I add to what he was talking about too?
Certainly.
In the 80s, when I think it was when Reagan was running, George Bush the first came to town also.
Yeah.
I was in elementary school and we were up at Linmar, and he came and spoke at Linmar. I think he was campaigning for Reagan at the time.
Right, he was.
So another future president was here.
But all through, Eisenhower was our 34th president, I believe, and all. Before that, and since then, we've never had a president come to Marion, Iowa. You would think with the trains, maybe somebody might have come through, but never happened. So.
Well, I have a president's story on almost one, too.
I would like to add, however, one thing before you give yours. Slug
What?
was a sophomore in high school in 1958.
No, Slug
M.L.
wasn't.
Pazur.
No, she wasn't. She was a graduate of Coe College.
Oh, in 58?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's a good thing. And she was getting ready to go into the Navy then.
No, I was when I was, oh no, anyway, we won't.
Would you like to go next?
Thank you.
Okay.
When Jimmy Carter was running for president, and he made a visit to Marion, and I, in my stupid brashness, went up and said, "Here, Mr. Carter," and put a bicentennial button on him, and the Secret Service all just stood there and watched, Never did that again.
No.
Okay. That's it? Okay, Dave?
I would like to say that I really am proud to be a citizen of Marion, and I was very proud today at the State of the City address and with Nick presenting. He did a fabulous job, and he does I can't say give him enough kudos for how well he represents the City of Marion. So thank you.
Appreciate that.
I was also going to say, I was also going to bring that up and say good job today, Mr. Mayor, and I will say that I'm very proud to call you my mayor. You do a fantastic job.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I too say that you did a good job, but I also consulted your worst critic while I was there today to find out what he thought of your speech. Your son. I said, how did your dad do? And he goes, oh, he did great. So you did very well. And the whole meeting, after the meeting, was talking to people out in the audience, and it was very well received, and that that Marion is definitely on the move and doing a lot of things. And everyone was tired after we watched all these things that we had done in just 1 year. It was just about tiring to watch all of it. And so that the people that make it happen are sitting out here. We don't do it. You guys out here are the ones that do it. And so my thanks to you guys and gals that you're the ones that make Marion great and able to build the city and serve the community like we do. So my thanks to you guys as well and gals.
Joe, come on, now they're going to want raises.
Hey, they deserve it.
I just want to say the same thing. I thought it was a great speech. You did a great job, and I liked all the pictures and everything. It was really nice.
Thank you. My turn. Well, I want to thank everyone for attending, the people who were able to attend, and it was my honor to be up there representing Marion. We have so much to be proud of and so much to be happy about, and we're, like Joe said, you all make us look good. The city staff and the 200 plus employees of our city who work really hard every day to serve this city and make us look good and give us a lot to talk about. A couple months ago, as I was thinking about the speech, I was thinking, I wonder what I'm going to be talking about. I was trying to go through in my mind, things, and it was hard to figure out what I had to leave out to make it, 30 minutes or less. And then we had so much to share and so much to talk about, and it was great to see a record crowd there and so much excitement about Marion. I hope everyone shares in my excitement. So thank you, sir.
Yeah, I just had one item, Mayor, before you adjourned, and that's on Tuesday, mentioned to council that we were going to start working on the financing plan for the library. We're going to jump right on that. Ellsworth and I are going to be meeting with some of the folks from the foundation next week so that we can bring back a formal proposal for the council to take a look at.
Okay. Sir. Okay.
Wanted to just take 2 minutes. There's a very special guest here in Marion today, good friend of mine, one of the most respected criminologists in the United States. Dr. Andrew Fox is a researcher with Cal State Fresno. I've worked with him for 6 years in the area of analytical components and social network analysis, looking at social structures of individuals that are involved in violent crime. Criminal activity is very prominent in concentrated social structures. Violent crime, property crime, everything, goods, currency, drugs, all move through social structures of people. Being able to analyze those relationships between the people can really help you drive your strategies. Within the last 24 hours, the Marion, Iowa Police Department became the first agency in the state of Iowa to develop social network analysis capacity and to begin to develop methods to operationalize it. I'll be very brief. Just wanted to show you a couple slides of what it can look like. You're seeing small dots that are connected by lines and very concentrated amounts of relationships that are involved in criminal activity. And when you really want to drill down to the very small percentage of people that are committing the crime in a community, you can really strategically focus your resources on your police activity, your interactions, your interventions, and your enforcement to concentrate on the usually less than 0.5% of people in a population that commit the majority of your crime. I'll brief you much more on this moving forward, but I couldn't miss the opportunity to introduce Dr. Fox here today.
Please have him stand so that we can. Right, there you go. Thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome,
and I appreciate the time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations on being us being the first one to do that. Oh,
Big
really?
step. There's actually probably only maybe a half a dozen agencies in the United States that have this capacity right now.
Yeah.
We look forward to hearing
That's
more about it.
amazing.
Thank you.
I have one other
Okay,
thing.
one more comment.
On Tuesday, I didn't realize how sick you were till Paul pointed out how close I came to having to do the presentation. That reality.
If he was ready.
Next time, I'm sending the doctor to your house. That reality was like, bang.
It would have been weird if you were talking about his parents and how much they were in his speech, but, yeah.
This is true.
Well, if I may,
Yes.
I did not make the function this noon because I was with my banker who was trying to keep me from being evicted because of non-payment of something that's having to do. Anyway,
It was a glitch.
That's where I was.
And one reminder, Mayor, next week is the board and commission reception. You recognized our board and commission members during the State of the City speech, but annually, I think this will be the third year that we've done a recognition event for our board and commission members. Will be next Thursday.
And it's something that all council members are invited to?
Yep.
Okay. Please put that down. Okay, if there's nothing else, we'll adjourn the meeting. Thank you, everyone.